one of the more important topic, that is the auditing of user actions. Okay, so in the real time, you may face certain issues like somebody has inserted some records, or somebody has deleted some records, or somebody has created a table, or something that is not known to everyone. So on that cases, if you wanted to keep a track of it, we have to enable the auditing. But the first point I would like to stress is that, say, auditing is something that you have to decide well ahead. You got me? So it's just like in our day-to-day environment, I'd say. There is no point in keeping the CC camera or CCTV camera after the theft is taken place. That you cannot find out who has did that activity. Right. Once the CCTV camera is there, from there you'll be knowing that who is coming, or who are coming to our building, kind of thing. But before that, before implementing the CCTV camera, we will not be able to find out who did what. The same way, auditing will be monitoring the user actions once you enable the auditing. So there can be like in your real-time situations, there will be questions coming like we want to know what happened 2 days back. Somebody has deleted this statement from our account. At that time, if auditing is not there, there is no way that you can answer to that question. You got me?
Yeah.
So auditing is something, once it is enabled, then yes, we will be able to check it. But that's first point. Second point is that auditing is a highly resource consuming activity. It will take a lot of space at the operating system, or at the database level. If you are enabling at the database level the auditing, it will take a lot of space. And also each and every actions, for example, you decided that you wanted to audit the insert statement. So, which means in a heavy DML activities, like in a system or in an environment where a lot of DML activities are taking place, at that time, definitely all the DML operations, all the insert or all the insert activities will get audited, which means a huge amount of auditing is taking place. Naturally, it will affect the performance of the system itself. So, when I was explaining the privileges, I told you that use the least required privilege. Right, the concept of least privileges. The same way, in the case of auditing also, the auditing is it's always good to have or go ahead with the principle of least auditing. Am I clear? So, when you are enabling the auditing, the output of that auditing can be available on two places. One is at the database level, and the other one is at the outside at the operating system. So whenever the auditing is taking place, auditing will create certain files, or also known as they are known as audit trail files. Okay, so these audit trail files can be captured or can be stored at the database level, or it can be stored at the operating system level. Okay, so the first point is that how will you find out where this auditing is taking place, or where the auditing outputs are stored? For that, in the database, you have to find out from the parameter file, that is audit_trail. Okay, so let's see in this database, show parameter audit. Okay, so it is mentioned that the auditor trail equal to DB. Okay, so the possible values of the auditor trail are 1 DB. DB means all the auditing will be added to the database. There is a certain database table, so all the auditing activities will be inserted to that database files. The second is that audit_trail, DB, extended. Just hold on a second. Discussion about the audit trail. Yes. Okay, so the audit trail takes basically 4 types of value. None means there is no auditing for this database. Okay, so none disables the auditing. Always means it directs all the audit outputs to the operating system. So in the operating system where it will be created, there is a directory called audit underscore file underscore dest. Like it's a parameter file, so it will be stored under that particular location. See, you can see that audit file does. So if you are enabling the auditing to the operating system, then all the auditing related files will be created on /ysheet 11.2.0/admin source ADAM, because our audit file destination is pointed to that location. Make sense? Okay. Now the other options what is available as DB. DB means it will be storing the information to certain tables, basically to a single table, that is sys.audit table. Okay, but there are a lot of views that is helping you to retrieve, because this table is quite big, so it is not easy to read that audit table. So there are a lot of views are given, built-in views are given, which will help you to read the records. And then DB comma extended, which means along with the audit actions, it will be copying the values of the bind variables. For example, you are in the program, when you are running the program, it is taking some user actions, okay, and it's inside that one. So it gives you what was the bind variable, or the variable that came up with the SQL statement which has been audited. Is that clear? Okay, and then it allows you to other formats, XML. Instead of the normal text file, it will allow you to write in the XML file, so that you can have the XML programs to read and analyze the data. And then XML extended, it's going to do the same way of the DB comma extended. It collects the audit actions as well as the bind variables when we are enabling the extended option. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Okay, now see, it takes an example how you are going to enable the auditing. You can issue the command alter system set audit underscore tail equal to DB comma extend. If you want to be DB comma extended, then scope equal to SP file. See, point to be noted, it is scope equal to SP file, which means also if you are looking here, which means it is not modifiable. So you cannot give alter system set scope equal to both. It cannot be modifiable on the memory. It needs the database restart. So if you have in your system, if you have not enabled the auditing, you can enable the auditing only after you say you restart the system. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Akshay, any questions?
No.
Okay. So now, coming to the after understanding the basics of auditing, because for the time being it is for us audit tail is set to DB, so we don't have to do any other activities. Now there are 4 types of auditing is supported on Oracle 11G. 1, statement auditing. 2nd, privilege auditing. 3rd one, object auditing, and 4th one, fine-grained auditing. Let me note it down. One, statement auditing. Second, object auditing. Third, we'll go for third. Second is privilege auditing, object auditing, and fine-grained auditing. Okay. So let's have a brief understanding about all these things separately. So statement auditing. Statement auditing, a statement is being audited. For example, a create table statement. Okay, audit all the created tables statement given by user ysheet. Okay, so we'll tell them audit create or audit. You wanted to know, say an example is that you wanted to know what are the audit statements, what are the table related statements that's executed by a particular user. Okay, so audit table by say Vaishit. So what are the what are the table related commands executed by Vaishit user, whether it's a create table or there's a truncate table or a drop table, etc. will be audited. Is that clear?
So it will audit DDL command only, not DML on that particular table.
Yeah, on the particular table, yes.
So it will only DDL, not DML, right?
Only, no, not DML. DML state has to be executed separately, or we have to enable the separately. So it will be updating only the DDL statement. Just once. So it will be auditing all the DDL statements on the table by that user. Okay, not on a, it's not a specific to, that's where the statement auditing and object auditing is differing. Okay, these are all very minute difference between these things. Okay, so when I tell that audited table by Vaishit means it will audit all the created tables, all the drop tables, all the truncate tables, that means all the DDL statements, alter table or anything, which is related by or which is done by Vaishit user on all the tables. Okay, wherever the action is successful or not successful. Maybe like he may create a table or he may issue a truncate table where in which you don't have the privilege. So that also will get audited. You got me?
So it will audit DDL statement run by particular user or particular object?
Particular user, say here I am going to issue, say example for the statement audit will be say audit table by Vaishit. You got me? So I'm not specific. I'm not pointing to any specific table. I'm telling that whatever the table related command issued by Vaishit user, please audit it. Got me?
So we can also give for a specific table.
Yeah, at that time it will be falling to the object auditing. Say audit created audit all on this particular table. Then it will fall into object auditing. That's where I told you these are not a different for different categories, like you will be exactly segregating into different categories. These are the broad classification. You got me?
Okay.
So in our requirement we will be putting everything together. We will not be going ahead with the in the real time or in the real time. What happens is mostly the auditing will be pointing to a certain objects only. Nobody will be auditing the entire database activity. For example, audit to create audit a table by Vaishit means it is going to audit all the actions, all the table actions. The table actions, there are a lot of there, right? Creating the table, altering table, comment on the table, then delete a table. Like a lot of activities are involved there. So it's a very resource-consuming activity. So real time, it's very specific to very specific object for very specific activities only. Because create a table, normally the users will not be having the privilege. Like we will be auditing is auditing along with the proper privileges. Then only you can secure your database. The previous classes we discussed about how to set up the privileges, how to create the roles, how to create profiles, and control every user activities. Here we are going to monitor or you are going to audit your activity. If you wanted to have a successful environment, all these two things, all the things should be joined each other. Got it?
Yes, sir. So in object auditing, DML will fall, right?
Yes, object auditing DML will be coming.
Okay. So for example, if one schema Vaishit, we are having Vaishit, if we execute any DML in particular table, the one which we are auditing, So we can come to know only the schema has been audited, or at the same time the machine from where the query has been executed.
Yes, we have not to come into that the auditor table. I told you that the sys audit dollar say describe AUD dollar. That will be a big table. It's very quite difficult to understand actually. Otherwise, there is one more table is there, audit DB underscore audit underscore trial. Describe DB underscore audit underscore trial. Okay, so if you are looking at this table, you can see that from which terminal, which host operating system, what is the username, what is the operating system user, all these informations will be recorded here.
Okay.
Okay, so naturally, again I am stressing on one point, since this much information is collecting, unnecessary auditing will definitely slow down your system. Even coming to the again don't be under the impression that see auditing means when I'm telling that to create audit table means it's not only the audit, anything that is related to the table. So for example, even the insert statement also added actually. So suppose if you wanted to audit insert a table by a user, so at that time you can say specify that audit insert a table by why should say for example something like this. Audit insert table by version by like whenever successful, not successful. So this is more specific actually. Okay, audit insert the table by version whenever not successful. So whenever a user version is trying to insert some data to a table, and when that actions are not successful, at that time audit it. So this is more specific, and that will generate less amount of data. Got it? Just one second. So as I said, the statement level auditing can be applicable for both DDL as well as a DML, but that is not too specific to a particular object. That's what we are stressing here. Audit table means it's going to do the DDL auditing. Audit insert table it's a DML auditing, and we can say that we can even have say suppose if our requirement is having this way, say our requirement is that we want to know whether the Vaishya user is trying to insert some record to any table. So we are not worried about any table. So but we want to know whether Vaishya user is going to do some insert statement, and then if he is doing, then we will do the further fine-grained auditing. Fine-grained auditing in the sense like a specific object. So this statement will be so which means the auditing can be at the session level or at the access level. Session level means an audited statement will be taking place for each session. So in that one he will be doing several activities, but whenever say let's take this audit insert table by Vaishit by session. Okay, so which means in a particular database session means a user is making a successful connection to the database till he is existing from the database. That's known as a session. So inside that session, if any insert statement is done, you audit one time. You got me? So the statement will be that it will be record one audit entry for the triggering session. So whenever inside that session one audit statement, whenever the one audit statement is meeting, that will get audited. Okay. So the second statement will be, or if you wanted to go more detailed about each and every insert statement you wanted to modify, then it will be done by access. So insert audit insert table by sheet by access means whenever he is inserting, it will be auditing. So in a session itself, there are a lot of audit statements will be coming if you are going with the by access method. Is that clear? Any questions? Okay. Now
the table access or what?
Table access. What is the audit condition we have mentioned here? Insert table, right? So insert table means it is means like say he insert into my tab. Okay, so this will be audited only once in a session. Whether it's a my tab or any other table, it will be audited as long as he is having only one session, only one statement will get audited. Here what happens that he is issuing insert into my tab or insert into my tab, insert into new tab. All this access will get audited. Or insert into my tab itself, he is doing 100 times. All the 100 actions will get audited.
Yes.
Is that clear? So again, I am stressing on one point that there is no clear-cut demarcation between the statement auditing, the privilege auditing, or the object level. These are all very minute difference between all the things. A strong identifiable difference will be between the normal auditing and the fine-grained auditing. Earlier it was only the two things. One is the normal auditing and the fine-grained auditing. Later point the books are started telling about the different levels of like object level auditing, privilege auditing and all. There are minor differences are there, noticeable differences are there, but not a very great extent that we should be really worrying about it. Just one second. Yeah. So now we'll take an example of auditing and see how to do it. So let's clear this. Any questions before we going with the practicals?
What?
Or you want me to cover everything and then do the practice?
Yep.
Okay. Fine. So this is a statement level auditing, right? Now let's go ahead with the second one. I said the privilege auditing. Okay. Privilege auditing means say privilege auditing is exactly, or suppose if, before that, if you wanted to disable auditing, how to do it? Okay, so now we have given a statement that audit table by Vaishit, right? The next statement will be that disabling the auditing, disable statement auditing. It will be no audit table by Vaishit. So that what all the auditing is there, it will be disabled. Make sense? Okay. Now we'll go ahead with the privilege auditing. So privilege auditing will be taking place when you are doing, or these are specific to certain to the system level privileges. Remember, there are like object level privilege as well as system level privileges are there. So if you want to know, say for example, if you want to know whenever a table is being created, okay, any user anywhere, whenever a table is being created, at that time you wanted to audit. So the statement will be something like that: audit, create any table. You got it? So here what happens, who are issuing a create statement table, then the audit statement will be, or the database will be auditing. So this is applicable to a system level privilege. So if you are looking, there is not much difference between the statement level auditing and that of the privilege auditing. Statement level auditing does it for the table as well as the DDL as well as the inserts in, but this is a little bit more broader specific. That's all. Just a second. So the definition of the privilege auditing, or I'll say, let's see what the Oracle is stating about this different privileges. So the disabling is always the same. No, if it given audit, then it will be no audit, then the statement. So you wanted to, in the case of using privileged auditing, you wanted to audit any create table command. Or whenever a user is doing something who are having the create any table privilege, in that time you wanted to audit, you will be specifying that audit to create any table command. But if you don't want it to audit, you will be telling no audit create a table or create any table. Yes. Yeah. It will be something like no audit. Now the next one is that object auditing. Now the object auditing, or I would say that object auditing will be the most commonly used in the real time. So the command will be something like that, as you are expecting. Audit insert on HR dot employee. Okay, you wanted to be more specific. Whenever not successful. So whenever not successful, why it is not successful? The user may not be having the privilege. So again, it's a privilege auditing is also interlinked there. You got me? That's what I told you. All these auditings are interlinked actually. So audit insert on HR.employee whenever not successful means the system will be auditing whenever an insert statement is taking place HR.employee and it will becomes a failure. So at that time, if you have naturally that privilege auditing also will be automatically invoked there.
Okay.
Is that clear? And if you wanted to know, say, by a specific user, if you want to know, again you can specify by, say, audit insert on HR.employee by Varshid whenever not successful. This will be more very specific activity. So we are this will be like say how this auditing is going to take place, or in the real time auditing. You are seeing that there are certain suspicious activities happening for your database. Okay, so first thing is that if you are planning to audit all the user activities, I mean, say if you are using this activity, say maybe like say, let's take a situation where in which you are feeling that there are some insert activities that are happening at the database level. So like you don't know which are the tables are getting activated, but your client is telling that we are suspecting somebody else is inserting some records on the table. So as a DBA, it will be very difficult for you to do it for the individual tables and find it out. So what you will do is, first statement you will go ahead with a statement level auditing. Audit, insert on, audit, insert whenever successful. And audit insert table whenever successful. Right? So this is one auditor statement you did. So from here, you will be able to understand that who are all inserting the records to the table. So naturally, it is very easy that to find out, like say, naturally for an application, always the insert statement will be done by that, normally the application owner schema will be there. So that schema will be inserting the records. Am I correct?
Yes.
Are you getting my point? So you have a application called say salary application or the inventory application. So that inventory application, even though we are inserting the records to the front end, there will be a particular user will be there who wants the object, and there will be certain users who got the privilege to insert the records. Okay, so from this audit insert table whenever successful, from there you will be understand that who are inserting the records. Fine. So now from there you understood that say there are users called wiresheet, okay, DBO 1, DBO wiresheet and DBO are the two users inserting. So now your question is that DBO is the user who is the application object owner. So his inserts are acceptable. But wiresheet is not supposed to insert the record. So now we got it. Okay, this is the person whom you wanted to further focus. So now our statement auditing purpose is gone. Now we are coming to say that from this we will be more fine grained. Okay, so audit. Then we will disable that particular auditing. What we'll do that we will disable no audit. So this is step number 1. Okay. Once that is successful, we got it who are all auditing. So now what we'll do that we will just disable that particular statement, that is no audit. Because we will be getting a lot of records will be there. It's very difficult for us. Now the third statement will be that we are more focusing on a particular person. Okay. Audit, insert table by wiresheet whenever successful. Okay. This gives you specific information about the particular user. So now you are stating that okay, why should the user is inserting to from this we can say he is inserting to my tab, new tab, and salary. Okay, so you are giving this report to the client. Now client is telling that okay, he is inserting to my tab and new tab is fine. We have given that that's okay. But what is the salary table he is inserting? What are the information he is inserting into salary table? So we are again cancelling this this audit. No audit. That's again we cancel the second auditing, because again unnecessary information we don't have to collect. 5 we are telling that. At that time we are going with an object level auditing. Audit. Insert into HR dot salary by wiresheet whenever successful. You got it? Did you get the flow? So now, whenever the user is inserting to salary table, that time it will get audited. So from a bigger area of inspection, we are focused into a specific table. Is that clear?
Yep.
Any questions on this? Because here what you have to understand is that your audit statements are going to be the same thing only. How we are approaching this problem is very much important. So auditing the statement will be very easy. Audit insert on or create on that anybody can achieve. But how you are approaching the problem, how you are focusing to a particular situation is very much important. That requires your skills as well.
Okay.
Okay. Now after some time we identified that one. Again we can revoke that or stop the auditing by giving the command no audit. No audit insert into salary by virtue whenever successful. Is that clear?
Yep.
And then periodically, say as I said, just one second. Okay, so as we discussed, the auditing is actually going to create a lot of data into the table. So if you are keeping it on the table, then it needs a periodic purging. So we have to delete the records or the data from the audit table by purging. So it will be like something like this: delete from. This has to be done by the sys user only. sys.aud$ where timestamp hash. So then sysdate minus 90. Here I am telling that 90 days all the data can be purged. But you have to just check what are your office or your organization's information, and then you have to do this.
And in which table we can see all these data, whatever audits we are applying, where we can see the data?
There are multiple tables are there. Okay, for the statement level auditing, whatever you have done, you can get from DBA underscore. This is only about the audit actions you did. What is the command that you did? It is not the output of the auditing. Okay, DBA underscore statement STMT underscore audit underscore options. So DB underscore statement underscore audit options will tell you about the statement level auditing. Okay. Now DB underscore PRIB underscore audit. That will be telling you that privilege level auditing.
You mean what audit we have applied? The statement of
we have enabled, yes. We have enabled, yes. PRIB underscore audit underscore options. This will be telling you that the privilege level audit. Okay. Now DBA underscore object. It's OBJ underscore audit underscore options. This will tell you that object level. Okay. So these are the places where you can see whether what are the auditing or how we enable the auditing. Now, if you wanted to know the result of your auditing, then you need to find out from the table, that is DB underscore audit underscore trail. That is how we are going to view it. For example, a command will be something like DB underscore audit underscore trail. Okay, say it will be select username, that's who the user who access. Then say at a time, what timestamp? Timestamp, comma, action name from DB underscore audit underscore trail, where username equal to version. So it will give you what are, at what time, what action he has done, that information you will be getting it. So the table or the table from which you are querying for your audit output will be the same thing. But if you want to know what are the audit actions enabled for each level, you can get from the corresponding audit underscore options table.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. What about
then apart from
auditing?
Yeah, fine-grained auditing is something that introduced on Oracle 10G onwards. So where which here the fine-grained auditing is more suitable for, I'll take a separate topic on that because it needs a lot of explanation. But in a simple words, it gives more importance on the select statement based on a value. For example, say I can specify that audit select on HR dot salary, right? That becomes a object level auditing. You got me? So here we have specified audit insert into HR dot salary by or whenever successful. So whenever a select statement, whenever an insert statement is taking place, at that time the audit will be taking place. The same way I can give a audit on the select statement. That is audit select on HR dot salary whenever successful, which means whenever a successful statement auditing is taking place, irrespective of what are the data, the auditing will be taking place. Are you clear?
Yeah.
Okay. But our requirement is that, say, we wanted to, that again will be a huge one. Okay. So our requirement is then, a user is trying to say, a user is given, he can always view the salary of his son. But if he is trying to view the salary of some other persons, or based on the data, based on the what data the user is selecting, if you wanted to do an auditing, then you can do it there. You got me? So your requirement is that the auditing should be taking place when the user is going to select the data which is belong to some other user. So you are internally what happens then, you are putting one more where condition. That based on that where condition, that auditing will be taking place. So, like I say, whenever the user is selecting, for example, in the case of select table, select statement itself, say salary, say the salary table, maybe having different columns are there, right? So we wanted to go audit only when he is going to select the percentage of hike. Otherwise, we are okay. You got me?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means you are further fine-graining the auditing. That kind of auditings are known as a fine-grained auditing. So what happens is that we will be creating a policy, that is a fine-grained policy. In that one, we will tell that the columns will be audited, will be salary and commission percentage. So whenever this guy is touching these columns, then only the audit will be taking place. Otherwise, it will not be audited.
Okay. It will apply to row and column both, right?
Yes. It is more of on the data actually.
Yeah.
Okay, you have the two options. One is at audit condition and other one is at audit column. So audit column means if you wanted to audit, you wanted to focus your auditing on a particular column, you can specify that audit columns. But if you wanted to specify based on a SQL statement, okay, say whenever salary is greater than 50, so percentage. Say for example, you wanted to know, say the user is looking for the list of the people who got hike more than 50%. Okay, that's a statement. So you can split that is the audit condition. So the auditing will be taking place when the user is writing some query or stock procedure or whatever it be, based meeting to that particular condition. Is that clear? Okay. We'll take the fine-grained audit a bit detailed because that requires a lot of practical explanation. So we'll take a separate session on that as well. But this is how it is working. So if you are now to understand this clearly, now say the HR, we are in our previous example, we found out that why should the user is inserting to HR. So the client is telling that let's see whether he is modifying or inserting or modifying some records to the salary table. Then catch it. So at that time we have to implement the fine-grained auditing.
Okay.
Got me? Any questions on this topic?
No.
Taraga? No, sir. Okay, fine. Okay, then we will go ahead with the next one.